Jai Apataya just recently left the training camp of Tyson Fury. Now, as a sensationalized story in which that they're going to make it, why is that important to bring out? I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of people are speculating that Jai Apataya knocked out Tyson Fury in practice, mind you, while in sparring, which, by the way, in the famous words of the great Allen Iverson, bro, we talking about practice, which means exactly what? It means absolutely nothing. And let me explain a couple of things as to why it absolutely means nothing, but also go into the sensationalized stories and the clickbaits that come with this particular story. For one, if you are in a training camp for a fight, a couple of things are going to happen. You're not going to be as fresh as the night of your fight. Is that any news to a lot of people that are casual spaces in the combat sports world or don't really understand the culture of mixed martial arts, boxing, and training camps? And if you don't, then please answer yourself truthfully so that I can educate you on these matters at hand. Suppose you wake up in the morning, do hill sprints, do a weight training session, a conditioning session, and maybe a few rounds on the pad. In that same afternoon, on that same day, you're going into a sparring match with any random bloke that is in your gym or any person that, let's say, wants to come in and help you out, or people that have been scheduled to spar with you. And guess what? In the case of Jai Apataya and Tyson Fury, let's talk about the two different peaks that they are currently at. As you know, Jai Apataya just came off of fighting in the Day of Reckoning, which wasn't too long ago, back in December. Last month, literally 1 month ago. So perhaps maybe he's a little bit fresher than Tyson Fury because he's already coming off of a fight camp. He's rested, had a few days and a couple of weeks to recover, and now here he is back in the gym taking on a Tyson Fury who, for all you know, might have been chopping wood, might have been flipping tires, might have been doing box jumps, might have been doing a weight training session on top of miles and miles upon miles of running in order for him to get ready, and maybe even some swimming if he adds that to his repertoire of training. You people don't take this into consideration. However, here's the one thing that you have to take into consideration when it comes to this story. Number one, you have to take into consideration the simple fact that while it's going to be a clickbait story, it's going to be one of those things that a lot of people can use for their social media sites to get clickbaits, likes, and attention, and also content creators like myself who can make up crazy stories and say something to the effect of Jai Apataya knocked out Tyson Fury. Now, if this is a matter of fact, I'm going to ask the question, so what? So what if he knocked him out in sparring? There's the old saying that goes, it only counts on the night of your fight where you're actually getting paid. Ain't nobody getting paid for sparring. And if you are, well, that's the arrangement between you and the fighter that has brought you in along with his camp and whatever type of deals you have going on under the table. That's a completely different scenario at that. But when we're talking about strictly practice, now I don't know about you, but in the world of martial arts, there is a certain code to where you never talk about sparring. This, by the way, is a proper gym etiquette in martial arts, in mixed martial arts, and in particular, the traditional martial arts that have came before MMA, such as Taekwondo, Karate, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, all these arts that came from Japan. They have a certain etiquette that comes from Eastern traditions. Now, with boxing, maybe you may not get the same type of vibe. Maybe it's not the same type of cultural ethos. And if so, then you have to take into consideration that this whole entire conversation about Jai Apataya knocking out Tyson Fury in sparring means absolutely nothing. But on the flip side of it, I want to say this. If Jai Apataya manages to move up to the heavyweight division when and if he chooses to do so, and if Tyson Fury is still up there, wow, that makes a very creative fighting matchup in terms of a guy that we know is really the top dog of the cruiserweight division since Usyk has left. But now we have a storyline behind that, to which a lot of times we're totally missing in boxing. So again, I'm not here to slag off or to diss anybody in the MMA content space that wants to create a story about Jai Opetaia, especially in the boxing space. You know, a lot of the boxing guys are going to eat up this story and somehow sensationalize it, use low-hanging fruit methods to somehow pick it apart and give their false impressions of what the Usyk versus Fury fight is going to look like on February 17th. But just remember what Ellen Iverson said by the end of the day before you sign off, like and subscribe and share with the rest of the world. Bro, we talking about practice.